In this video, I'm going to give you an overview and a newbie guide to Flippa. Alright, Flippa is a marketplace where you can buy and sell websites, apps, domain names, and all kinds of digital assets and virtual real estate. And this guide here will show you exactly what to look for, the pros and cons, and how you as a beginner can avoid being ripped off and avoid certain scams that are out there, and how you can find the most valuable website on Flippa. Right? So Flippa itself is a great resource because you can effectively buy a business in a box. You can buy a business that has existing traffic, existing SEO rankings, and existing social media platforms and all that kind of thing. However, unfortunately, obviously, there are a lot of scams out there, and people who are beginner marketers won't understand or know why they're scams. So the purpose of this Flippa review and guide is to give you an overline here so you can apply some common sense to your online journey and hopefully make an accurate and useful decision before you buy from Flippa, right? So please subscribe and like my channel if you can. I'll be very grateful, and obviously I'll continue to give you up-to-date, honest advice, honest reviews, so you can avoid getting ripped off and hopefully save some money in the process, okay? So we'll jump in here and have a look at Flippa. But before I continue, guys, I want to take this opportunity to invite you to come and join me on the 30th of April because there is a brand new product being launched on Warwick Plus, which is actually very, very good. And I'm doing a live call on the hour of the launch, so you can buy it at the early bird price and get a kick-ass bonus that I'm including, and this will cost less than a pizza, right? So be sure to click the link in the description, or there'll be a link below this video. Come here, click on register right here, and register and come and join me live on the 30th of April, all right? Because this could really transform your journey on becoming an online entrepreneur. But for now, we'll jump back into Flippa and have a look. So I'll just jump straight in here and go into the websites, okay? Because buying websites is the main purpose of Flippa. So I'll ignore the other departments right now. On the left-hand side here, you can see you can filter things by all kinds of traffic sources, what they're selling, how they're selling it, and so on. You can filter it by page views, by monthly users, the age, the domain name, and so on, and all that kind of thing, right? So I'll give you a few tips here to share with you how you can stay safe. A quick way to filter things down very fast is to ideally you do not want any domain names that is younger than 6 months. Okay, because that will straight away eliminate most of the scammy sites out there, which are brand new. And also, when you're looking at websites, ideally you want to have aged domain names. Because if you buy a brand new domain name, if you want to do SEO and that kind of thing, you want to have an aged one because you're going to rank faster. If you buy a brand new domain name that has no history, nothing, then it's going to be more difficult for you, but not impossible. Now, I want to make this point very clear first. I know you're looking for a bargain. I know you're looking for the cheapest possible website. But please understand, guys, if you're paying less than $1,000 for a website, you're not going to get a business in a box ready to go thing, right? You're most likely just paying for the domain name and the actual template and the website itself. There's not going to be any existing rankings to speak of. You're not going to get a real business as such. Because you can see here, if the asking price of the reserve is $55, $100, it's going to be cheap and cheerful. It's going to, like here, webmarketingstrategy.co.uk. This type of website here, you can see it's going to be a struggling business, right? Or it's just simply a template. So when you look at this business here, yeah, it's a ready-made business. It's all here for you. But you have to understand, guys, if you're paying $200, okay, the reserve is $200. That's it. Okay, this here, the content's not unique. Unique templates, no. Unique design, no. You can see here, there's no information about the stats of the traffic. There's no information here about how many sales they got. There's nothing here. Okay, so you're basically paying for the template. That's what you're paying for. And so, this kind of thing, you need to use your common sense here. If I go back here again to the main menu and come down here, I'll talk a bit more about some stats to look for before you jump into this. So here you can see this here, Dive Auto. Okay, here you can see monthly net profit $800 apparently. Now if you look here, the reserve is $350, right? So either two things are happening here. they are claiming that they're making $800 per month, right here, which is the, what's that? So that's $8,500 a year. Now that in itself will mean that this business is going to be worth at least, $4,000 or $5,000 minimum, right? If that's their net profit. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll leave a link up underneath here for an article from Ahrefs. How much is your website really worth? Okay. This is a long article, but it gives you a really accurate way to determine how valuable your website is. Now a good kind of sort of rule of thumb is that your website is worth roughly 10 times what your monthly income is. Okay. So this website here is roughly worth $8,000. Obviously that's a lot to consider, but that is a rough rule of thumb benchmark. Okay, so the fact that they're selling this for a reserve of $350 shows you that these guys are either scamming or they're just absolutely clueless. Now, and then if you actually read through this and read what they say, now judge that based on what they're saying here, these guys do not seem like amateurs, right? Based on the fact of what they're saying here, how much they're making, and so on. So for me, this here looks and sounds way too good to be true, right? Because they would not be selling this for $350 if they were making double that a month in income, net, after taxes, after costs, sorry, right? So again, when it comes to these kind of financial and so on, this here can be fake. This here tells you nothing. And if you actually go down here and check out the description and so on, and you actually look at these screenshots here, for example, I don't know what these are, but I'll open them up real quick so you can have a quick look. Again, this doesn't really tell you anything. It's just some random numbers on the screen. This can be from anywhere. Okay, it does say here that it's from Divoto, but there's no record here of where did they come from, right? They could have made this themselves. They could have just paid themselves this money. Okay, because obviously I'm sure you can see here that if these guys, it is what it is, guys. If they're claiming to be making this kind of money and they're only charging $350, there's something very, very wrong here. Okay. Now, I might be completely wrong about this, but now I'm going to talk about the vendors, right? So you can see here, this guy. If I click on this guy here, he's only sold 2 other properties here. See the listings, and you can see here. So I think he's bought this one and he's sold that one. Right, he was selling it. Okay. So again here you can see. So this is what you need to do. Here is an old listing he had before, right? I don't know if I can click on this, open this. If it's here. So this is an auction that ended 19 days ago. And again, if you come down here, he's claiming that this one here as well was making $700 a month, right? And the same thing, same structure of the listing here, the same thing. Okay, cool. And here, click on here, the customer order list, and you can see, this is exactly the same, just a different domain name, and it's kind of like, okay, what's this is like, it just looks really shifty, right? And same thing again. Why would this guy be selling these websites for a fraction of what he's making a month? Do you see that? It just it's very, very fishy. Okay, and same here. This one here as well, same thing. Net $800 a month. Exactly. Oh, that's the same one. Sorry, I'm being a noob there. A blonde moment for me there. This one here. So he's doing this one in smart covers. Whether this one is same guy selling this one here. Same thing. $350. Again, let's have a look here. The same thing. The exact same layout of the thing. That's fair enough. Okay, whatever. Read through here. It's all easy, but you get loads of visitors here, making loads of sales. Come to the order list of the screenshot of profit and orders and so on. Same again. Same layout, same whatever, and he's getting all these orders here. And you think, okay. And it's like, okay, again, he's selling another website he's selling that is apparently making $800 a month. Right, so it's almost roughly the same amount. It's quite strange. And I think, okay, so do you see what I'm talking about here, guys? This is a brand new seller. He hasn't sold many things, and it's like, okay, there's something fishy going on there, right? Do you see that? Because there's something quite not right about that. Because if you come here and you go to established sites, and you actually start looking at some real websites that are actually generating real money, right, with real information and actual a real sales pitch here. For example, here, let's find something that's actually a real kind of thing to go for. Let me just, I'll change this to 2 years, and I'll change this here, minimum range, let's say $2,000, and we'll find something here that is an actual real business. So here is a more accurate valuation of a website that is going to be the real deal, right? So this one here, for example, what's it called? So here you can see this one here is 2 years old, generating lots of sales. Again, this here can be fake. There's no way of knowing if it's real or not. Come down here, but what we can see is here. Okay, this is more real. Email, the traffic comes from email. That's more realistic. Okay, and come down here again. Scroll through here. There's much more accurate readings here, in my opinion. You come through here, and then they'll give you a much more accurate and detailed overview of what their business is like. All right, and here you go. Evidence of revenue. On here, and again this here isn't the same thing, right? But this here is more represented in a way which is more believable, if you know what I mean. Because when it comes to these sort of stats, this here is more based on reality. And if you were to actually look at these numbers here and dissect them, they'll be very accurate based on what they're showing you on the actual page here. And you can see here when he actually gets questions, he's giving actual real answers. You can see here, right? And so you can see that this here is a much more genuine feel to it. And if you look at this guy here, for example, I've no idea who this guy is. I've never seen him before. Again, you can be a bit more. This can be a bit more wary, but you can see, he's placed bids before. He's been a member for 10 years. So this guy here is a bit more, in my opinion, just more reliable, right? But obviously, again, before you hand over tens and tens of thousands of dollars, you want to be sure, right? But the beauty here is you can contact him, you can message him and so on, and by using common sense. But this is the key here. You need to use your head, guys, because I found another website here, this one here, drop shipping it. Again, it's got 3 days left. The reserve is 30 grand. That's fine. But the seller here, he's from Kenya. Right? Now, African countries are unfortunately a haven for scammers. Okay, it's nothing to do with what country it's from. It's just, or continent, sorry, the continent. So the continent of Africa, there's a lot of scammers from there on these sites. You can see here, this guy is brand new. It says here, he's not sold anything before. He's got other listings. He's had a few other listings here, which didn't do well. And so when you actually look at the site here, same kind of thing here, where it's a dropshipping service site. Okay, that's fair enough. Again, Google Analytics, okay, fine. But then you come here, it's organic search, okay. And when you come down here, it's usual thing, okay. Here, fair enough. It's to give information about what he's selling. 21,000. He's made $29,000 without any expenses running promotions. Okay, fair enough. And then he talks about what he's doing. It all looks okay, all right. But then you come in here to his PayPal earnings, and you click on this box here, and it opens up his PayPal earnings. And you can, I used to be a small business owner, so I'm looking at his figures here. I'm looking at his sales activity. That's fine, 20,000. And then I came down here and I thought, transfer and withdrawals, 0. Purchase activity, online payment sent. So he's taken 21,000 and he's paid out 21,000. What's he paid this to? Is that just transfer money out of his account or what? Because when I go into my PayPal account, my money that comes out is under here, transfers and withdrawals, because I withdraw it to my bank account. I don't transfer it to a different PayPal account. I transfer it to my bank account. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, well, to me, this reads that he has fabricated these sales. He's basically paid himself and then taken it back out again to a different account to make it look as if he's made this money. Right? That's my personal opinion based on my own experience. Okay? Because when I look at my account on PayPal, this here reads transfers and withdrawals. Right? That's how I take money out of my PayPal account to my bank account. It does not say online purchase history, because this here is stuff that you're buying, when you actually use PayPal to buy stuff. So what's he bought for $21,000? Either he's transferred to another account, or he's paid himself to a different account to cover his tracks, or this is the money he's spent to make this money, which means he's not actually making a profit. Okay, does that make sense? And so, and again here, so you can see other payments, other 11,000. So these numbers don't add up to him saying that he's earned $21,000 without any expense, because in his PayPal account you can see he has expenses, right? So again, those numbers don't add up to me, right? I'm hoping that makes sense. So when you come through, you guys, this is a long video, I know, but you need to be aware of these things, right? And so before you buy anything from Flippa, do some background searching. Okay, if you find a website I'm just going to keep looking here. Okay, let's have a quick, for example, have a quick look here. I'll pause the video. I'll find something good here, and I'll come back in a second. Let's have a look at this one here. This spine swag. Okay. Again, 1 day left. It's at $5,000. The reserve is not met yet, I don't think. It's $130,000. Here, this guy here, Ben Bailey. Straight away, he's done 21 transactions over $100,000. Again, that is generally a good sign, because he wouldn't be here otherwise after this long. He's been a member for 6 years. So straight away, he seems more reliable. Okay, come down here. All these stats here, you can kind of ignore them to begin with because they're so easily faked. But when you come down here, you can see where the traffic's coming from. That's fine. And come down here, and again, here you can see they give much more detail, actual real detail about what the business is and how they're doing it. When you come to the profit and loss sheets and so on, it's all here. It gives more detail. That's fine. If you go to the Shopify screenshots here, again, it's much more accurate. This here actually, could you fake this? Yes, you could, but you can see his name here. These figures here will be accurate to whatever he tells you in his other sheets, all right? And what I like about these here is, again, whenever someone asks questions, he answers them, right? And you can see he's answering with real answers here. And when it comes down to you as a person who wants to do some due diligence, apply some common sense here, guys, right? Look at, for example, his Facebook. He says they got a Facebook page here. Okay, so have a look at the Facebook page. Is it active? Have a look. How many likes do they have? Does it seem real? He's very responsive, which means that they are actually on here. Okay, again, you can see loads of likes and shares. Okay, so have a look and actually use your common sense. Is there activity on here? Let's look at this. Okay, loads of comments, loads of likes and shares. That's a really good thing. Okay, that in itself tells you straight away that this here is a real business. Otherwise, they wouldn't have this kind of engagement. Okay, you can do the same for Facebook, same for Instagram, Pinterest, whatever. And if you come to the website itself, have a quick look. Does it look professional? Yes. Actually, go for this here. You can go, for example, and check out their organic search. So you can see here, organic search, 5,000 views. Okay, you can come to a place like, for example, who is Lookup. Okay, you can type in their domain name here, have a quick look just to make sure that what they're saying is true. Okay, there's no data available. Hang on, just quickly change this here again. Here you go, all registered, 2016, and you can come back here. Does that match what they say here? 3 years old, yeah, that's accurate. Okay, so you can confirm what they're claiming. Equally, you can come in here and ask the creator some questions. Come in here and read through all this, and come in here and actually ask him some coherent questions. Ask him about the product sourcing. Ask him about the product prices. Ask him about any kind of import issues, export issues, any potential client issues. What's his support like afterwards. Ask him questions, guys. Right? Because the more you ask, the more he will answer. And if he does not give you coherent, honest answers in a reasonable way, you might go, well, you know what? You're talking about selling something for $100,000. You're looking for real, honest answers, and you're going to get that here, right? Also, do your own due diligence here. Contact Flippa, okay? When you're talking about anything in the thousands, you can contact Flippa and say, hi guys, I've seen this website here. Can you give me more information about this site? Is it safe? And see what they say, right? Just out of interest, right? And use your common sense when it comes to SEO and so on, because this here is an e-commerce store. You can see here that the vast majority of the traffic comes from direct or from social media, right? Which is totally fine. Now, if this was a website that was purely based on SEO, right? I'm going to come back here to the search bar here, and I'm going to find a website that is purely based on SEO, where the traffic is SEO, just to see if I can find something here that is to give you another angle you need to consider. So, for example, there's here cost evaluation. No idea what this is. Have a quick look. Let's see where the traffic is coming from. So here we go. So you can see that 65% of the traffic comes from SEO, apparently. Now, a quick way for you to check this is to what you can do is you can ask the vendor, ask them if you can get some more information about keywords they're ranking for. Now, and then you can search for that keyword and do some keyword research on that keyword to see if it's accurate, right? Because if they say, like here, I have no idea what the site is, for example, right? I'll just costevaluation.com. Let's see, is there a link here for it? So I'm here on the site now, and it's got quite a cool domain name, really. But then if I go to, for example, Moz and search for it, right, here you can see it's got a spam score of 10, it's got ranking keywords, and it's got 500 ranking keywords, which is good, depending on where they're ranking. And it gives you more information here about links and so on. Obviously, very brief information, and it gives you a few indications of the top ranking keywords. So you can take these keywords here, and you could put these into a keyword research tool and find out how many people are searching for these keywords, right? Because if there's 0 searches for these search terms, then that means that these are not very valuable. Equally, if you actually go to somewhere like SEMrush, okay, they have a free tool as well. You can search for here. You can search for the domain name here again, and this will give you an indication. So here you can go in America, US only. You can see here that the organic traffic was good before, but it's tanked off a lot. So you can see there's virtually nothing here coming in now. Okay, so you can see that. So you can see that's dropping off. So that is a bit of a warning sign to me. That's like, okay, so their rankings aren't that great. So let's have a look. Let's go back to the actual page here and see where the traffic is supposedly coming from. It says here United States and Canada. And so for me, obviously, you go back to SEMrush search tool, change it to Canada, change it to desktop, to mobile, and do some research there and have a look at does the 80,000 add up to what they're claiming from organic? If it doesn't, then you need to either just ignore it completely or message the vendor and say, look, I've checked your stats and it doesn't look good, man. Like, it doesn't say you're getting this many views from organic. Okay, and then basically, guys, do some basic research here. Again, this guy here, have a look at this page here. You can see he's got no other listings here, no feedback. He sold this one here as well. So he has some history here, which is good. But guys, when it comes to Flippa, okay, this video has gone on for way too long now. Use your common sense. Okay, if something looks too good to be true, it probably is. When you're buying stuff here, have a look at the editor's choice. Generally speaking, I would venture a guess and say if it's an editor's choice, then it's going to be an extremely valuable website, and it's going to be above board. Everything will be there. Okay, but obviously with this kind of thing, you pay things on site. Okay, ultimately there is no way of knowing if you're getting conned. But use your common sense, message the vendor, check out the vendor's history, look at their stats, search for them online, have a look, do some research, guys, and use your common sense. All right. So that's mine. This was my overview and review of Flippa. Use it carefully. It's a great resource. They have a lot of really cool things here you can buy, but please be careful. Don't jump in the deep end first time. Take baby steps, move forward slowly, and invest in your future and invest in your business. My name is Philip, and this is Active Cash. Please subscribe and like this video to my channel, and I'll see you all in my next video.